Hi, welcome to Checkpoint Running. I'm Dylan. Today we're continuing our series of the Thermont Loop in Cunningham Falls State Park in central Maryland. This is just a little bit north of Frederick near Thermont. And so in our previous section we did the purple, and now we're going to do this orange section here, which goes from the Cunningham Falls over to the road. And so just picking up the trail after we left the Cunningham Falls there, and we're going to climb this mountain. It's not a super steep mountain, but at this point, I think I'm about 12, maybe 12 miles into this loop, and so definitely a little bit tired. I also had run out of water at Hog Rock, and so I've been without water for a little bit, not super long. And I was just planning to make it to the end without water, but fortunately on this loop I actually come across a campground and am able to refill my water. So this part of the loop also goes near Camp David, which is the presidential retreat. So I think there's a few places, there's signs on the trails that say, private, do not enter, that sort of thing, as we kind of skirt the edges of Camp David. If you haven't been following along on the previous sections, I'd recommend you go back and watch those for sure. We started at Bob's Hill with a nice long climb. Then we ran from Bob's Hill over to Cat Rock and down. And then from Maryland 77, which was the road at the bottom of Cat Rock, up to Chimney Rock, from Chimney Rock to Wolf Rock to Hog Rock down to the Cunningham Falls. And now we are climbing back out from Cunningham Falls. Also, this was recorded in March, so you can see, the trees have not leafed out yet. It's pretty drab, but it was hot this day. It was about 75, 80 degrees Fahrenheit or so, which for March in Maryland is quite warm. But it was a beautiful day otherwise. You saw there maybe at the falls, I tried to cut as much as I can. People that, crowds, I should say. Any people I come across on the trail I usually leave in unless they ask me to take them out. And there were a lot of people at the falls. So we're going to come up to these people, and they informed me that I'm bleeding. I guess at some point I had hit my face on a branch or something and started bleeding from my cheek. So they were letting me know. It was a surprise to me.
Hey, good afternoon. Is it? Yeah, I'll probably hit a branch or something. Thanks.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot, but yeah, might have saw a little bit of blood there on my hand. I have no idea when that happened. I have no idea why it happened. I think just from trail running in general that I bleed often enough from arms getting scratched by branches or legs getting scratched from thorns or whatever. It just become a little bit immune to it, and definitely apathetic to the fact that I'm bleeding. It'll heal. It's just part of it. It's no big deal. And so moving along here, continuing to climb this hill. We're already about halfway up, so it's not a super long hill. You may have noticed, obviously, the statistics. So if you're new to my channel, I try to keep these statistics. These are recorded in real time when I run the course, and so these metrics here are giving you exactly what I, experienced. So you've got the overall kind of course, and that is oriented north, with north up. So you've got the course that we're running, And then below that is the elevation profile, so you get a good sense of when we'll be done climbing, how much climb, that sort of thing. My speed and the slope in percent. So if you're following on like a bike or a treadmill, something like that, you want to hike this, you want to run it, virtually, whatever, you have some information in case you want to kind of experience it the way I do. Obviously, you can adjust your equipment however you want. But if you have a treadmill that's able to go up to these percentages, you might get a sense of how difficult some of these things are and why I'm going as slow as I am. Also, I have my poles. Recently, I've actually stopped running with my poles as much. I'll probably pick them back up again, but I really wanted to focus on my normal running form and normal running strength, so I haven't been bringing them with me on very recent runs. But they were nice to have during these early runs as I was building up some climbing strength and just remembering how to use my poles again. I almost always carry them with me just in case. I just really haven't been using them, so I'll probably start to use them more often again to keep practicing. You should be doing this at a pretty easy pace. I'll have to figure out if there's a way for me to add maybe my heart rate on here or something. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Like, do you want to see my heart rate? Do you want to see cadence, anything like that? I don't know how important some of those biometrics are. But I think you'll get a pretty good sense. I'd rather, not try to match my heart rate because everybody's a little different, but try to, do this at a pace that's comfortable for you and works with your goals for whatever you might be trying to do when you're running. And so we've just kind of reached the top of this little hill. It's a little bit of flat here before we go down a tiny bit and then back up a little bit more. And then we'll have a nice long down to cap out this run. And here I think I'm just looking around trying to orienteer myself. Because this was the first time I'd ever actually run this trail before. This trail is about an hour drive from where I live. So it's a nice place to go to run in mountains since Maryland is mostly flat, at least where I live, because I live on the eastern part of Maryland. Yeah, this was a really nice surprise, nice trail run. That dog was barking the entire time. I could hear it. I was climbing the hill. I couldn't figure out what it was barking at. Still don't know what it's barking at. Yeah, you can see this trail is really well groomed, really well maintained. Definitely used a lot. No leaves on it, so people are pushing them out of the way as they walk or crushing them up as they walk along and run along here. So very obvious where the trail is, and it's very well marked with the blazes on the trees, so you know exactly where you are and where you should be going. So this long run was, I think, my first really long run for the year. I think this entire loop took me about 5 hours or so, somewhere in there. So it was 18 miles in total. I don't know if I could do it faster today or not, or if I tried to. But I enjoyed this a lot, and it was a really good workout. You can see even going downhill, I'm not going especially fast. 4 miles per hour is not really fast at all. That's a 15-minute pace. I think most people would not consider a 15-minute pace a very fast run speed. But this was really nice. To keep my heart rate up in that zone 2, blue zone, which is where I wanted to be for this run. Definitely did have some moments where I spiked a little higher, especially in earlier videos where, I was climbing, for example, up to Chimney Rock. I did run that hill for the most part, and that got my heart rate up quite a bit. And so, yeah, I just chose to relax here and enjoy the trail. So here, I've reached the bottom of our hill here. Like I said, it wasn't especially long. It only took us a few minutes to conquer that. And then we've got these nice steps they put in to get up this steeper part. So we're obviously slowing way back down. So you'll notice this pole technique. I put both poles in front of me and then use my back primarily, upper back, to pull myself forward. That way I don't get too tired. Using your back muscles with poles is very important. Your back can, muscles are going to be a lot stronger than your arms. And so it's easier to keep going with lower effort if you're able to use your back to pull instead of trying to brute force it with your triceps or your shoulders. Continuing along the shoulder here, this ridge. So as I finish out this little climb here, let me know in your comments what you want to see out of my videos. Do you like these series? Do you like me to just upload the whole loop raw like I did? So I did that with the White Oak Trail. Just kind of introed it and then just uploaded it raw as is as a long video. And to let you just experience everything I saw, said, etc. along the way with very minimal editing. Do you want things that are more edited? Do you want something that's like just, highlighted, the highlights? So I've got a couple of highlight videos that are like, hey, here's just the really cool stuff I saw on this run. So it might be, maybe I ran for 4 hours, but it's a 5-minute video just to highlight a couple of really small things. Let me know what you like. I'm still figuring this whole YouTube thing out and figuring out how best to record these runs. I will say I don't want to ruin my running experience by trying to turn it myself into a filmmaker, if that makes sense. I don't want to be stopping to set up action shots where I can like run by the camera or, try to get these cool, drone shots or anything like that. I just want to run and show you what ultra running is like most of the time. I'm not trying to be a celebrity runner, if that makes any sense. And get 1 million followers on social media or something. I'm just an amateur hobbyist runner. I'm out here just doing my workout, having fun, getting ready for races, and bringing you along for the ride, so to speak. So you can kind of see the stats here, use these to work out on your own, compare to me, don't compare to me at whatever you want to do. And just kind of show you some of my local trails. And then when I travel for races, maybe show you those. So I've got a couple races up on my channel now. I've got the Cunningham Trace, which I cut down into, kind of I think it's about a 45-minute video of highlights of that race, which took me about 6.5 hours to complete. And then I'll have some more in the future. I just filmed one this past weekend, or at least half of one, which will be up on the channel soon. And then obviously when I go and run Transalpine in Europe, I'll be filming that as best as I'm able, because that one is kind of that's my goal race, and I want to have that as a memory, if nothing else. And I'd just like to share it with you guys. All right, so we're back on the trail here, going down. This was not a super steep down. You can see it's negative 13%, but it's steep enough, and my legs were feeling it. We're getting midday here, and so I'm hot, and like I said, I'd run out of water. So we get down here to the bottom of the hill. If you're looking at the elevation profile, that steep little bump there, that's not correct. For some reason, when I stop, the GPS tracker that I use to overlay on this video seems to think that I'm climbing a hill when I just stop, and so it just like the slope keeps going up and up and up and up. And I don't know why. Maybe it's a bug they'll fix at some point when they realize you're not really moving, that it'll not do that. But you can see here off to my left there that there's a road, and so we're coming down this trail to this campground, and I was very, very thankful that this campground had potable water that I could use and refill my drink bladder that I carry. I'm going to cut this out just because it's pretty boring. I run up here and I guess I tripped on that tree or something. Sorry. I run up here and I basically just look around to see if they have water, find the water, refill the water, and then keep going. So you see there, we on the track and on the elevation profile jump a little bit as I cut that out. So sorry you guys didn't get to see that. It's pretty, like I said, pretty boring. And then this poor woman carrying tons of camping gear out. I think they had spent the night out here and they were just carrying a ton of stuff. They didn't look too happy either, so I don't know if their camping trip didn't go well or if the group of friends had an argument or something. Oh, they were out here. I don't know. They didn't look happy. I think they were just they looked about college age or so. So I think they were just having a weekend adventure. Some more. I don't know if these are the same group or not, but they all seemed like they were about the same age, so they probably were.
Hey. Hey.
So one guy had a guitar there. Maybe he didn't play the guitar very well. Anyway, this power line cut was pretty cool because you could just see all the way across the mountain.
That's pretty cool.
This is neat to me that you can, when you clear the trees out, how far you can see. Even when it's, the trees aren't leafed out, it just feels like you can't see as far, or maybe you don't. For me, maybe I just don't appreciate the distance as much as when it's just completely clear cut like that. So we're going to run down this steeper little tiny hill here. So I'll speed up a little bit. I always enjoy the downhills that are runnable. Like not too steep. Too steep feels not runnable for me a lot of times. I probably just need more practice running fast downhills and being able to appropriately place my feet and trust that I'm not going to trip and fall. But when they're just nice and runnable like that, between -10, -15 or so, it's just fun. You get to feel fast. Get some make your own wind, and it feels good. And this trail here where somebody's placed these nice flat rocks, it was very nice of them to do that and make them flat. I feel like too many times in this area, the rocks are all different orientations and jagged, and it's not really runnable. You feel like you're gonna always like fall and or twist your ankle or something if you step on a rock weird, and if you try to step on the points of the rocks, and it just hurts because it's all the energy of your footstep hitting the ground is just right on that one point on your foot, and it hurts so much. No matter what shoes I wear, it always hurts. That's physics. I think I don't think that they can make a shoe that would be able to take a point like that and distribute it across your foot evenly in such a short amount of time that your footstep is. So having flat rocks like we just ran across was really nice. Otherwise, this trail is very tame. If you're in this area of Maryland, near Frederick, a little bit north of Frederick, Maryland, central Maryland, highly recommend you guys come out, check out this park. It's really, really nice. Cunningham Falls State Park in Maryland. Nice trail, nice area. You've got the waterfalls, you've got the overlooks, you've got rock scrambles. And this trail is very easy hike in general, as long as you don't mind climbing a little bit from time to time. And the longest climb is only about 1,000 feet, and so it's not like out west where you can go up for thousands and thousands of feet at a time. So I think anyone could manage this. Obviously, judge your own skill and your own physical ability before attempting any of this sort of stuff. But I think as long as you take your time, this isn't highly technical or anything. You're not climbing up into the clouds where it's going to be higher elevation or anything like that. So very doable. And so here, there's a sign up there on the right on that tree that said private, keep out. So we're going to keep on this Blue Blaze trail. So Camp David is just off to our right through the trees. And I would rather not have to be interrogated by Secret Service. So I'm going to stick on the trail here. And so as we come towards the end of this run, thank you for running with me again. Whether it's your first time or you're back, just thanks for running with me. I hope you enjoy this sort of thing. And please do leave comments. Let me know how to improve. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you find interesting, what you find boring, things like that. I hope that some people are using these for training videos and enjoying this. So we're going to pause this, we're going to finish this section rather here at this nice babbling creek. This was a really nice thing, so I'm just going to sit here and you can enjoy this. I hope you will come with me on the next last two parts. We've got parts 9 and 10 up ahead, so we've got to climb a mountain, and then we're going to run back down Bob's Hill, and that will finish out our Thermont loop. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Dylan. This was Checkpoint Running, and I'll see you on the trail.